Okay, if you're a Capricorn born December 22nd to January 19th, what can you expect for the month of April 2017? Let's tune in and find out. So Capricorns, I feel like this buzzing in my head. Just so much is going on. I feel dizzy. I have a headache. I feel like you have been stressed to the max, trying to figure things out, trying to just, my eyes popping out of my head, like all these different things, moving projects, moving things that have to be done. So what you're being asked to do this month is just to kind of relax into it and see all these things and just let them fold into a process, this and this and this. So it's about, you're going to have the time this month to slow down, to get organized, and to actually feel like you're accomplishing something instead of kind of running around, not getting anything done. So you're going to feel a greater sense of accomplishment with April. Things are going to go a little slower, a little more to your liking. You're going to feel like you can have time to sink your teeth into things and finish it. So April will be a month of completions for you. There's a lot of opportunity to get some things done. And the biggest thing for you is just to kind of prioritize. And I think if you prioritize, you're going to be really happy with the results. Okay, so let's first begin with personal relationships. So romantic relationships, those of you that are in a coupled romantic relationship, what can you expect for the month of April? So you may find yourself really picking on your partner, pick, do this, in an effort to kind of get organized and get things done. It's just some nervous energy that you're exuding towards your partner, and it may make them lean back. I feel like that's temporary. And I do feel like by the middle of the month, you're going to feel a little more relaxed. So your partner's going to feel a little more relaxed. There are some great opportunities. It feels like early in April, like the 2nd or 3rd, it could be feels like there's some fun energy for you to do. Also feels like there may be some impromptu trips or day trips for you in April, as well as a nice little getaway. So if you and your partner want to go do things, there's plenty of opportunities for you to get away and go be romantic. And I do want to comment that Venus retrograde ends April 15th. So you'll have Venus supporting you and being able to move forward in your romantic life. So that brings us to you single Capricorns. And if you're interested in getting romantic, having a romantic partner, let's see what April has in store for you. Well, it's going to take a little bit for you to get out of your own way, to cut yourself off from work, to say, no, I'm calling it a short day because I need to go out and see friends. So the first couple of weeks of April, you may have a harder time pulling yourself out of your own way. In other words, it feels like if you finally get time off, you just want to go home and go to bed. So don't feel bad if the first week or two of April, you just feel like, I'm wiped out. A part of that feels like it's because of all the scattered energy that I had talked about. And now with all these planets going retrograde, we also have Saturn going retrograde April 6th to August 26th. And that's in the area of relationships. And it helps us to focus on our long-term goals. It helps us kind of reevaluate things in our life, especially how we approach problems or opportunities, how we manifest our life. And so there's this kind of going in, it's almost like the universe is forcing us to go in. And for Capricorns, if you've been super busy, you just want to get knocked out. You just want some Z's, right? But I feel like by the middle of April, when Venus goes direct, you're going to be up and at 'em, and you're going to be ready to go, and you're going to be looking for that love. And you may find it in an old relationship because Mercury retrograde happens April 9th to May 3rd, and when Venus goes forward, that Mercury retrograde is not going to feel as intense because we've got the planet now Venus moving forward, and Saturn retrograde almost gives us a little bit of a break because Saturn is the taskmaster, right? It just stays on top of you, get this done, do this. And with that retrograde, we're going to feel like, wow. So the Venus retrograde moving forward as it ends, with the Mercury retrograde now starting, the Mercury retrograde April 9th to May 3rd is not going to feel as intense because, like I said, Saturn's relaxing a little bit, and we've got Venus, the planet of love, helping us again. So Capricorn, you'll be able to catch up on some sleep. You'll be able to feel a little more okay? Rejuvenated or regenerated, whichever one you want, okay? And as you move forward with April, that energy of desire, of lust and passion is going to be reignited, and you may have old loves come back into your life. Now, if you go, oh God, I don't want that, you don't have to, it's fine. If you don't want to engage, don't engage. Doesn't mean that you're not going to have somebody new showing up. There may be somebody new. The best opportunity feels like around the Taurus new moon, April 26th, and then again at the end of the month around the 30th and the 1st. So that last week of energy in April feels like it's prime for you to be able to have some new romance for you. Okay, so now let's look at your career, Capricorns. For those of you interested in career and money, what you can expect for April. Well, things, you're going to just feel like they're hitting on all cylinders. You're just going to feel like things are moving along. You're finally going to feel like, wow, okay, things are finally moving. So this could even be a project that you started maybe 6 months ago. If you're an entrepreneur and you just kind of like started something new 6 months ago, it finally feels like it's hitting on all cylinders. Don't be worried or stressed about the Mercury retrograde, because while these hitting on new cylinders, you'll have time to kind of like correct whatever needs to be adjusted. Doesn't mean it's going to stop your business. I actually like it for your business because it's allowing you to do it slow and methodical, but there is movement. So I see careers moving forward, things happening, communication, people that you haven't been able to get a hold of start to show up. Now, people from your past come forward. That's all with the retrograde, but you do have to still double check the communication, and it's always advisable not really to sign contracts, but business has to go on. So make sure you double and triple check information. But if you can, wait until that retrograde of Mercury ends and goes direct May 3rd. So sign like the 5th and 6th, something like that, if it's like a new deal or something like that. But if you have to sign, you have to sign. Just double and triple check. But I feel like the career is moving forward and even opening up. And you may find that people are approaching you and want to do business with you, right? There may be some fans that show up and say, hey, I'm watching you from a distance, or I've read about you, I've heard about you, or so-and-so told me about you. Do you want to do this with me? So you may find people coming out and wanting to be your partner. If they really want to be your partner, you can take the time to explore that partnership without committing. And I say this because the Saturn retrograde from April 6th to August 26th is about reviewing our relationships and focusing on things long term. And once Mercury goes direct after that May 3rd, May 5th, middle of May, end of May, we're going to have a start, we'll start to be able to see people for who they really are and examine them with our life and see if there's a fit. So if somebody comes up and shows up now, great, let's explore it. Let's take time. Let's meet. Let's talk. Let's converse. But don't go, yeah, right away. Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's throw it out there. Let's sign the docs. Don't do it that way. You want to slow and make sure that it works. Okay. Let's see about your money, Capricorns. Okay, I feel like again the money is hitting on all cylinders. A little bit of problem. I feel like there may be a couple things, expenses, right, that come up. I don't feel like there are things that you weren't expecting. It could be like you have a big tax bill, or you could have a big payment that's due on something, or it could be, you're laying money out for school. It could be that you're, just bought a second home. So there's these things, they're not surprises to you, but they're chunks of money that have to go out. So I do feel teeth are coming up. Some of you may have some stuff going on with your teeth, or your kids' teeth that you're having to pay for, or braces, right? So, you could even have some hospital bills where somebody has recently gotten hurt. You see somebody, potentially with a broken arm or broken leg, you're paying. It's just like medical things. So there's these bills that are coming up that you have to pay for. The good news is the money's there. And what kind of like little obstacle or a little bit more that you have to pay in April, May will fill it back up. Okay, so if you take a little bit of a hit because you have to pay something else, May will come in and you're going to have more money in May. Okay, so now let's see about your health, Capricorn. Let's see anything about your health. Other than feeling tired and a little bit drained, I'm feeling like right here in the chest, almost like I can't breathe. That feels stress. That comes from stress. And whether you've been caring for a loved one or you're worried about somebody, these next couple of weeks of April, you're going to be able to get that back, right? So you want to do some things to take care of yourself, and whether that's, so funny, I'm sitting on a ball, okay? And so I was being drawn to my back and to tell you about, do what you need to do. So if you need to get a bouncing ball for your back, right? So your chair is, if you change out your chair, if you're having back issues, if you need to take up yoga or meditation. But I feel like you need to take up more Zen things because you're so busy in the world, Capricorn, busy, that you want to take up things that have you go in and calm. For some, it may be prayer. You may just have a stronger prayer life this month. And, we do know cosmically that there's a lot of openings happening this month. We have Easter, we have Passover. So there's a lot of energy of spiritual connections happening this month. And Capricorn, you guys are super in tune. You're super psychic and intuitive. And, and if you want to increase your capacity this month with your spiritual awakening, you can. So there's lots of windows of opportunity this month to really pray and meditate and feel closer connection to God or your higher self, whatever your beliefs are. But I do feel like you'll be open to that this month. Okay, and let's see if there's anything else about your health. Other than slowing down, you're going to be having the time available to you to be able to take care of yourself and to make sure that you're doing things in order. And you're going to have a greater sense of being, I need to do this for myself, right? Your knowing is going to kick in about what is good for you and what is not bad for you. So the universe is going to give you a lot of data, a lot of information this month about don't do that anymore and do this more, right? So just pay attention to the signs and to the information as it comes in and then follow through with it. And you're going to have the support of the universe to do that. And more importantly, the time to do it. All right, Capricorns, let me see if there's anything unusual or surprising that shows up for you this month that you weren't aware of. Well, I think what the surprise is that this business situation or a partnership situation where somebody comes up and wants to be your partner or wants to be in business with you, or your business takes a turn for the better, right? There's some surprise in your money and your business that kind of expands and opens up that you weren't expecting. So whether that's a big order, a new client, or a big opportunity shows up, but it does show up in April that you weren't expecting. You were hoping for, but weren't expecting. All right, Capricorns, sounds like a great month. Have a wonderful month. Get your rest. Enjoy it. There's a lot of partying and fun happening for you the last 2 weeks of the month if you want it. Much more socializing happening for you, and you'll feel up to it to be able to do that. So have a terrific April. And if you like my intuitive astrology, please click like, share it with your friends, and feel free to comment below. I love to read them and we'll answer. And I look forward to connecting with you again next month.